Hey guys, so I wanted to do a video today, or right now, this evening, before I'm gonna watch a quick show. I just put the kids upstairs. It is 6:44. We just finished reading, and they're upstairs watching a movie before we go to bed. So I wanted to do a video about our cash envelope system. I mentioned budgeting a lot. I mentioned cash envelopes a lot. So I wanted to elaborate, and I'm gonna do that in this video. So the first thing is that I want to show you guys is where it all starts. So I put our budget into a spreadsheet. Microsoft Excel is wonderful. Google Drive has Google Drive spreadsheets. Those work amazing. I love those because you can access them from your phone really easily, just through your email. So I like those a lot. So the first thing I do, and it looks a little crazy because I have lines through things, is I print out my little spreadsheets. I'll show you for every 2 months. And I just laminate them and I put them in my planner. So that's the first thing I do. And all those is literally like top to bottom, bills and expenses and sync funds. We base everything off of cash. And if it's not based off of cash, it's a planned thing that we plan out ahead of time. Typically, we do leave a little bit of a buffer in our checking account for things that come up. But yeah, so I'm gonna read them out to you. I'm not gonna show you amounts because I think that, I don't know. I don't think I need to show you guys that. I will say that our only debt that we have is our vehicle. So yeah. So aside from that, the car, we have no debt owed. The only bills we have are like cell phone insurance, life insurance, what else? Cable internets, we have pest control. Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, I'll just kind of show you. So I'm just covering this. So we've got, November 1st paycheck, for example. And for this paycheck, we budget for the Dodge Journey, which is our car, our cable, our gas, our groceries and household. My husband, he's deployed, so he has his own amount to spend. Food and entertainment, holiday. I needed to mail out my friend's box, so we planned for that. Emergency cash fund, school, clothing, appearance, and miscellaneous. So our second paycheck of the month is car insurance, cell phone, groceries, my husband, holiday shopping, it's crossed out, but car maintenance, emergency fund, mailing out another box to a friend, savings, Netflix, my purse fund, food and entertainment, sick, school, clothing and appearance, dentist, makeup, and then also also on the November 2nd paycheck, I have it crossed out, but that is where my Ipsy, my Stitch Fix, and Fabletics and Fab Kids would come out of. And Honest. And you'll kind of see there's some things highlighted in green. Those things highlighted in green are cash, things that come out in cash. And then in yellow, we highlight bills that come out. And then my husband's, for right now, it's just white because he's not home. So I don't physically pull that cash out. He pulls that cash out. So that's where it starts. So now we'll get into my cash envelopes and how I sort of organize my cash, because I try very hard to not ever pull out the debit card aside from payday, when I pull all the cash out for the next 2 weeks, and then I also fill my gas tank up on payday as well. And we have a kind of an unusual situation too with our car in that I don't really use it that often. My husband's not here, and I am a stay-at-home mom, and we walk everywhere. We're so close. We're so lucky that we live within walking distance to my son's school, to the grocery store, to a Starbucks, to McDonald's, to an ice cream place. We live within walking distance to his piano lessons, to the library, to a movie theater, although we don't really go to that one that much. We live within walking distance to the doctor. So I can get by with filling my gas tank up once a month. And we still, on the weekends, we go places. On Sundays, we always go to the beach, unless it's rainy or there's some kind of weird situation going on that day that we can't go. So we always do stuff on the weekends. We're always, going out and about, but I really limit things. And so during the week, we're supposed to be at home. We're supposed to be doing stuff close to home, so there's no reason for us to be driving out and about. And I stick to that because it's important to me, because I know there are other things that we could be spending money on versus gas money to get us to, you know, somewhere where we're going to spend money that we didn't really need to spend money, kind of thing. If that makes any sense. And I love to shop, don't get me wrong. I really plan for it, and I make sure I go on a day, and if I'm going to go out and drive around one day, I go out and get a bunch of stuff done that day while I'm out. So yeah. Okay, so most people use envelopes, physical little white paper envelopes. For me, that just wasn't working. I had done that in the past. I actually had a wallet for a short period of time, which I'll show at the end of this, because I still have it, that had like fabric envelopes inside of it. It just didn't work for me. So I moved on to a system in my wallet. The tabs I'm about to show you I got off of Etsy quite some time ago. I'm sure if you Google budget tab dividers, you could find them. They might also be under coupons. These are like little stickers that are on them. So in my actual wallet, I have a couple categories. I have groceries, because then a lot of these are in here because these are items or categories that I spend from a lot, and there's constantly money going in and out of these. So groceries, obviously groceries. I've got food and entertainment. Miscellaneous, which I put some money in here sometimes, but I have another miscellaneous tab in one of my other organizers. This is just in here for, you know, when I have a little extra cash, I just have a section for it. I have a section for gas. However, like I explained, we use our debit card mostly for gas now. When my husband comes back, we may switch to cash. Just to see if maybe that helps us stay under budget. But right now we fill up the car maybe once a week, so or once a month, so I don't really need to deal with that. Home, this is for whenever I budget anything that's just for the home, it goes in there. And then we have my holiday fund. I have another one of these in my other organizer. However, because it is the holiday season, I like to have the divider in my wallet so that when I need to pick up something for the holidays, I've got the money in my wallet ready to go. I've got emergency. This is another repeat. I just put extra cash in here sometimes, and if I'm going to be going somewhere that something could come up, I put cash in that little section before I leave. We've got gifts. These are for birthdays and stuff like that, and just for gift giving. So I've got $20 in there right now. That's actually, I just moved that in there from one of those for my son. Then we have clothing and appearance. Again, I only put the money in there from the other organizers I have when I'm going shopping for clothing or appearance items. School, again, I only put the money in there when I'm physically going to school and I need to have that with me. Car maintenance, again, I only put the money in there when we are going to get the oil change, which actually we have free oil changes right now because we're under warranty on our vehicle. But whenever I'm going to get anything done with the car, I put the money in here before I leave. And then dogs, which our dog that we have is currently with my grandmother, so this doesn't get a whole lot of use, but I didn't want to throw it away. So this is my wallet. This is how I organize the cash that I carry in my wallet that I'm constantly going in and using. Then I have these two things right here. These are both from Target. This one is from the Target One Spot from some time ago. And this is from the Target in like the office supply section. So I have two of these. And this one is for kind of just general stuff that the whole family needs that I think most people need. So I'm just going to go in and show you guys. So it's going to be so hard to do this with one hand. So I just have categories here. I've got dentist, emergency cash, Pinterest, because we do a lot of like family days and a lot of like things on our no tech days. And so I have to keep money in there for Pinterest for whenever we see something exciting on Pinterest. Holidays, I've got birthdays, car maintenance, eyes for me, for my eye appointment. I have really bad eyes and I have to buy contacts and glasses. So I like to just start and put some cash in there so that when the time comes for new glasses or contacts, it's not a big hit to us. Sports and lessons, this is for the kids. Piano, gymnastics for both of them. And then for little Larry, soccer, t-ball, that sort of thing. Sick, we have a sick section for those times when you get sick and you just want to buy anything and everything you can to make everybody feel better. We have a sick section so that whenever one of us gets sick, it's not a hit to any other portion of our budget to have to go and get soup and ice cream and popsicles and medicine and a movie if we're at home watching a movie. Be able to watch a movie because we're sick. Clothing and appearance. This is where I save up for clothing and appearance outings. I have a miscellaneous, and then I have a school, and in the back I have, oh, nothing. My other one has my checkbook. So this is the first cash organizing system, and I really like this. It's really thick enough that I could store a good deal in here. Once this little thing gets to be where I have like more than 1,000, I put the money in the bank. And I just keep a tally. But for the most part, nothing. This specific envelope, I've come close, but I haven't hit $1,000 physically inside this envelope just yet. So I don't bring it with me everywhere, though. I will say that. So, because I don't want, I don't want to lose it. This is my cash system. Okay, so there's that. This one is kind of unique to us in our situation. So let me open it. Okay, so this is a little smaller than the other one. And yeah, this is like really specific to some things that I personally want to save up for. And then something that my husband and I are kind of working towards saving up for. So I want a Louis Vuitton Neverfull, so that's that. My makeup fund, my Valentino fund, because I really want a pair of Valentinos. My Bob stroller, which I'm super close to having. And then I have this is our baby fund for our next baby. We want to have like $1,500 in here before we start trying to have another baby, and ideally we'd like to have $3,000 set aside whenever the baby is born. Obviously it wouldn't all go in here. And then this is our second car, which we will not be needing while we are on the island, but we will need at our next duty station. So we have started to save for that. So, and again, with this, once some of the categories, obviously once it gets to a certain amount, it's going to be spent, and I'll just have to remove the labels and put new labels on for whatever we're spending next. But like for the baby and the second car, we're going to be saving for those for a long time. I don't think we're ready for another baby for like probably 1.5 years from now. So, and then the second car, we have no desire to get a second car until after this duty station. So those are really slow going. So we like to just have the categories in here so that I can throw a couple bucks in here whenever I get the chance, and it'll add up over time. As far as change goes, I know that a lot of people budget down to pennies, and when they take, they leave those pennies in their envelopes or whatever, or the change in their envelopes. We don't. Anytime I get change, it goes into the little zipper part of my wallet, and every couple of days I dump that change into a big glass that is on top of our dresser, and it just gets saved until it gets filled up, and then we go and dump it for cash, and that cash gets put towards a date night or a family day or something like that. So yeah, so that is my cash envelope system. That's how I do it. It works really, really well for us. I love budgeting in these things. They are expandable, so they can fit a lot of categories and a lot of cash. Sometimes when you're dealing with a cash envelope system, you end up with a lot of ones and it gets bulky, and you don't want to have to run to the bank all the time to transfer your ones into 10s and 20s. So yeah, so this works better for me than a paper system. I like that I can easily grab things. It's all organized. If I want to keep them in my purse, I can. If I don't, I can store these, and I don't have a million envelopes sort of floating around. I can keep my tally of what's in each item on a Post-it or in my spreadsheet. So yeah, so that is how we kind of do our cash envelope system. We use little coupon organizers. So I hope this was kind of eye-opening. I don't know, everybody always thinks of cash envelope system as being like, oh my god, you have all these millions of envelopes everywhere. But I just wanted to show you guys that you don't necessarily have to have a bunch of envelopes. And I also wanted to kind of go into depth a little bit more on sort of how our cash system works. We're based loosely off of the Dave Ramsey sort of baby steps. Obviously we're done with baby step 1, and for the most part baby step number 2 as well. We are just paying off of our car at this point. And then the next step when our car gets paid off would be to start with our 3 to 6 months. And the 3 to 6 months is just basically where you have 3 to 6 months worth of your income saved, so that if something was to happen, you could get by 3 to 6 months without a paycheck. So that's our next baby step, which it'll be a little while, probably 1.5 to 2 years. Our goal is to get our car paid off in a year, which is possible, but our more realistic goal is 1.5 years. So yeah. So, and after that would be when we would really start heavily focusing on our 3 to 6 months. We sort of started the Dave Ramsey system about 1.5 years ago. It was slow going at first, and the first step is to get a emergency fund of $1,000. We wanted an emergency fund of $3,000. That was our goal. My husband figured $1,000 for each in his mind was $1,000 for each of us and $1,000 combined for the kids. So he was like, emergency situations that would come up for each of us, he was like, there shouldn't be anything that comes up with the kids more than $500, especially them being so little. So that was kind of our thought process behind it, was to do $3,000 of an emergency fund in the bank. And then from there, we're like, okay, well, maybe we should also have a cash emergency fund. And so we started out wanting $1,000 of a cash emergency fund. And when we got to that point, we put that in the bank, and we just were like, hey, this is actually kind of easy. You know, we're paying things off, but we're also able to save all this money. So we saved another $1,000, and we ended up using that to go on a cruise, because we were so proud of ourselves for saving and paying stuff off that we used to go on a cruise. So we were at a point where we had $4,000 in savings, and we were paying debt off like crazy. And so we added in our own little baby step of a checking account buffer, just an amount that we chose to have in our checking account that we said, okay, we'll never go under this number in our checking account. And it really works nicely for us. And we just like look at that number and we say, okay, we need to think of that number as being a zero balance. So when our checking account gets down to that amount, we need to in our head say, okay, that's zero. So our beginning of our Dave Ramsey baby steps was kind of unusual. We kind of tweaked it. I think it actually ended up working out better for us. But yeah, so that's kind of how we do things. If you want me to go more in depth on anything, kind of just let me know. But yeah, that's how we budget. We use spreadsheets and little organizers, and we focus on using a cash budgeting system aside from our bills, because we pay our bills with our debt out of our checking account. And yeah, so that's that. So I will see you guys next time.